In this very short film, we are going to be talking about buying cheap tools. My name's Andrew Berry and welcome to At the Benches YouTube channel. If, like me, when you started off in your jewellery making career or as a hobby, money's quite tight. You don't have a lot of money to splash out on big, expensive tools, equipment and machinery, so you usually try and cut a few corners and spend as little as possible. But really, when it comes to jewellery tools and equipment, so buying cheap is buying twice. You end up having to buy another set or another piece of product of whatever you bought cheap because the quality just was not there, and you end up spending twice the amount of money. Now, over the years, I've seen some fantastic bargains available on auction sites, eBay for instance. There's places in the Far East that do sell jewelry tools and equipment really cheap. And there's usually a reason for that. And also these tools and equipment are sort of slightly counterfeit as well. There are lots of models of the Fordham SR pendant motor flex shaft. I have this by here. You can just about see it in the corner of the camera there. And perhaps the name is spelt slightly wrong, but the quality isn't there. These pendant motors are about £230 perhaps in the UK. You may be able to pick one up for about £80–90 from China, from Japan, from the Far East, but the quality isn't there. If you're only going to use it once a year, twice a year, well, perhaps you don't want to spend a huge amount of money. But if you're going to be using it day in, day out, you really do have to make sure you're buying the proper thing. I say that because there's one piece of equipment that you really should not cut corners on, and that is your jewelry torch. I use these little handheld little guys here. These are from like a cook shop, really small handheld butane torches. This one is slightly bigger. This is actually from a jewelry tool suppliers. Those torches you really cannot go wrong with. Again, just buy decent brands from a reputable dealer. And downstairs we have the Smith's little torch. This is what we have. It's the Smith's little torch. Absolutely brilliant kit. Now I've seen this equipment, and this is the torch, the handle, the hoses and the nozzles. So cheap. And there is a reason why it is cheap. It is because they are counterfeit. It is because the time, the money, the effort has not gone into the production of the pieces. There may be inferior materials, the finish may be not quite right, the nozzles may not be quite right, the size holes may not be exactly right, and perhaps even the tubing may be cheap, may be inferior. Now, to me, I would always go and buy something like the original little torch. Buy it from a reputable jewelry tools suppliers, please. This could kill you. If you happen to have inferior products, counterfeit products, and you're dealing with pressurized containers of gas, oxygen, propane, acetylene, there are huge dangers involved. Do not buy cheap when it comes to your life. Always buy from a reputable dealer, a jewelry tool suppliers. Don't buy them off AliExpress and places like that. I may get slated for that, but I'm sorry. If I'm going to be dealing with pressurized containers that are perhaps around on the floor here, maybe if strapped to the outside of my building, I don't want those blowing up. I don't want the torch going off in my face. Safety is important. Someone sent me a fantastic set of pliers. Now, I'm always on the lookout for people who have really good products. They said, Andrew, can you have a look at our products? We think these pliers are one of the best you can buy. Please, can you do a film on them? I said, great, send me the products. I will have a look and we'll see. So this little case arrived, and I'm a bit hesitant when I see these cases because you think, oh gosh, they're mass produced and so forth. And when I opened them, I thought maybe these look pretty good. But looking at them really closely, and in fact, not even really closely, the quality is absolutely shocking. I think this whole set is around about $20, something like that. I know you can pick these up, say, on Amazon, like for $20, but the quality is shocking. I was looking at them. They're nicely sprung, don't get me wrong, fairly nice handles, but the finish is absolutely atrocious. Now, these were supposed to be, I was told, fantastic quality pliers. Yes, you can buy some cheap pliers. The quality is absolutely shocking. The jaws on these side cutters, one of these jaws is longer than the other. You're going to start using these. These are going to mark your pieces when you come to hold them, and they're absolutely shocking. And I refuse to do any sort of product review or anything on these pliers. Cheap pliers are going to mark your products. Cheap pliers are not going to hold the products properly. Cheap pliers are not going to work. Again, buy the tools and equipment from a reputable jewelry tools suppliers. These were a bargain. These are hand pieces. Now, we all know about interchangeable hand pieces. This is a number 30 hand piece that slips upon a Fordham pendant motor. You spin it around, locates in there absolutely brilliantly. Now, what can go wrong if you buy cheap? These hand pieces are perhaps 80, 90, 100 pounds perhaps. They are expensive, don't get me wrong. I picked up these, again, from the Far East for £8.50. Okay, so what's that? That's $15, something like that. They look pretty good, don't they? They look... Do you know what? Let me take them off and put them side by side. They're even called the T30 handpiece, which obviously we know what T30 means. It's one of these quick release handpieces. It's for a 2.35mm collet, 2.35mm shanks. This is the original. This is the copy. There isn't much difference apart from this here is black, and on the copy, this handle here is white. The knurling looks pretty much the same. This collet looks the same. On the original, it does have Fordham stamped on it. On this copy, it doesn't. So I thought, wow, for £8.50, what can go wrong? So I get my flex shaft and I spin it. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And you put it in. But guess what? The hole here is too small. It does not even let the shaft go in. I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. Yep, the shaft goes in. Look. In fact, has a little bit of movement even. In and out here. This one comes along. And I thought, oh, perhaps it's a very tight fit. Let me just check the other handpiece. Let me just double check this one and see if it's just me or perhaps it's just an error when they've made it. And I'm checking. And do you know what? It doesn't even go in. So, the product may look identical. The price may look too good to be true. And yes, it usually is. This won't even go in the shaft itself. I suppose I could come along and start to remount and drill out inside here. But to be honest, £8.50, they're just worth throwing away. They're not even worth returning back to the supplier. They don't even fit onto the shaft. And you may be saying, oh, Andrew, this shaft may be slightly thicker than normal. No, I've tried my other one downstairs, exactly the same thing. They do not fit. Fordham one fits perfectly. These cheap imitation ones do not. And that is the reason why they are cheap. It is because the quality is totally inferior. So, what if you learned from this film? Andrew has wasted £17 on two handpieces. I quite agree with you. But it just goes to show that even though all the products may look right, it may be even in a Fordham box or a GRS box or something like that, but there are counterfeits out there. And if the price is too good, it's normally too good to be true. So when it comes to buying anything that could endanger your life, like torches and gas canisters and hoses, don't buy cheap, please. Buy from a reputable dealer. You may be able to get away with some pliers if you buy them fairly cheap. You may need to alter them slightly, smooth down the corners, but again, don't try and buy packs of pliers like this that work out sort of like £20, £15. There's a reason why they're that price, because the quality is absolute rubbish. These look pretty good. Nice boxes. T30 handpiece, 2.35mm shanks. What can go wrong? They don't fit. So there we go. Don't buy cheap products. Don't buy counterfeit products. You'll end up wasting your money. Buy good quality products from a reputable dealer first time, and you should have no problems. And I've got tools here in my tray here. Look at the state of these are black. I must have had these for about 15-20 years. I've even got my old saw frame here that I bought close to 32 years ago. It wasn't cheap at the time, but you know what, I've still got it. So there we go. Don't buy cheap counterfeit products, buy the proper things. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, please, if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love you to. Little bell icon, smash that if you want to be notified when films go live on our YouTube channel. Don't forget, please give this film a thumbs up, or if you haven't liked this film, just give me a thumbs down. Let me know why you haven't, and give me some ideas, some sort of products or tools and equipment you want me to show on our films on our YouTube channel. But in the meantime, my name is Andrew Berry for At The Benches YouTube channel. Take care. See you in the next film. Bye-bye.